Welcome back. As Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu met with top United States officials in Washington, a different message was being delivered just outside.
These are momentous days, but they're also touched by tragedy. We lost 5 of our brave soldiers in Gaza. The people of America, of Texas, have profoundly lost their colleagues. We stand with the people of Texas and the people of America as the people of America stand with us. We send our condolences to the bereaved families. I said these are momentous times, and they are. The President and I believe in a doctrine called peace through strength. First comes strength, then comes the peace. Our resolute action, the resolute decision of President Trump to act with us against those who seek to destroy Israel and threaten the peace of the world has made a remarkable change in the Middle East. The remarkable American B-2 pilots showed remarkable perseverance, persistence, and power. The soldiers of Israel fought like lions, our pilots struck like lightning, and our common alliance roared like thunder. And this is having a great change in our region. There are opportunities for peace that we intend to realize. We're working together on this. We have still to finish the job in Gaza, release all our hostages, eliminate and destroy Hamas's military and governance capabilities, because Gaza must have a different future for our sake, for everyone's sake. And no country will settle for less. We certainly will not.
Hundreds of protesters gathered in the American capital, calling for an end to the war in Gaza and accusing the Israeli government of deepening the humanitarian crisis.
It's shameful that he's been invited to speak before Congress. It's shameful what our government has been allowing to happen and aiding and funding.
The demonstrations have become another reminder that the conflict is no longer being debated only in the Middle East, but is increasingly shaping political conversations across the world. Sahara Reporters reports that hundreds of demonstrators rallied in Washington, D.C. during Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's visit to the United States. Protesters carried banners and chanted slogans condemning Israel's military campaign in Gaza, while urging the U.S. government to reconsider its support for Israel's current approach to the conflict. The demonstrations collided with Netanyahu's meeting with senior U.S. officials, while discussions were expected to include the war in Gaza, regional security, Iran nuclear program, and broader U.S.-Israel relations. The protesters argued that ongoing military campaign have resulted in severe humanitarian consequences for civilians in Gaza. Many participants demanded an immediate ceasefire and called for greater diplomatic efforts to end the conflict. Others urged Washington to place greater emphasis on protecting civilian lives while encouraging negotiations aimed at achieving a lasting political solution. Another major concern expressed during the protests was the possibility of the conflict expanding beyond Gaza. Demonstrators warned that rising tension involving Iran could increase the risks of a broader regional confrontation, potentially drawing more countries into instability. Several speakers called for restraint from all parties and urged world leaders to prioritize diplomacy over further military escalation. The demonstration reflected growing divisions within the United States over Washington's relationship with Israel. While many Americans continue to support Israel's right to defend itself against security threats, others have become increasingly critical of the humanitarian impact of the military campaign in Gaza. Public demonstrations university protests, and political debates over the issue have intensified in recent months, making the conflict a major domestic issue as well as a foreign policy challenge. During his visit, Prime Minister Netanyahu was expected to discuss several strategic issues with US officials, including security cooperation, developments in Gaza, regional stability, and concerns surrounding Iran's nuclear activities. The United States has remained one of Israel's closest allies, maintaining military, diplomatic, and intelligence cooperation, while also participating in discussions aimed at securing the release of hostages and increasing humanitarian assistance. Netanyahu have consistently defended Israel's military operations, arguing that they are necessary to dismantle Hamas and prevent future attacks against Israel. His government has maintained that military pressure remains essential to achieving its security objectives and has repeatedly described Iran as a significant regional threat due to its support for armed groups and its nuclear ambitions. Critics of the Israeli government's approach argue that the scale of the military campaign has produced devastating humanitarian consequences. International organizations, humanitarian agencies, and several governments have repeatedly expressed concern over civilian casualties, displacement, food shortages, and damages to infrastructure in Gaza. These concerns have led to renewed international calls for stronger measures to protect civilians and expand humanitarian access. The conflict has also generated strong reactions across many parts of the world. Demonstrations supporting both Palestinians and Israelis have taken place in cities across North America, Europe, Asia, Africa, and Australia, reflecting the deeply polarized global debates surrounding the world. Governments continue to differ sharply on the best path forward, with some emphasizing Israel's security needs, while others focus on the urgent humanitarian situation in Gaza. The protests in Washington illustrated how international conflicts increasingly influence domestic politics in democratic societies. Public demonstrations have become an important way for citizens to express their views on foreign policy, especially during visits by world leaders. Similar protests have accompanied previous visits by senior international officials and often serve as a visible reminder of the divisions surrounding complex global issues. Despite the large demonstration, Netanyahu's official meeting with US leaders continued as planned. Observers say the discussions are expected to influence future diplomatic efforts in the Middle East, including negotiations related to regional security, humanitarian assistance, and broader strategic cooperation between Washington and Jerusalem. As the war continues, pressure is likely to remain on political leaders from multiple directions. Government face the challenge of balancing security concern, humanitarian obligation, and diplomatic relationship while responding to growing public opinion both at home and abroad. The demonstrations in Washington highlight how closely the international community continues to watch developments in Gaza and the wider Middle East. The protest also underscores a broader reality. The conflict is no longer viewed solely on a regional issue. Decisions made in Washington, Jerusalem, and other world capitals continue to have global political and humanitarian implications. As diplomatic efforts continue alongside military operations, the debate over how to achieve lasting peace and stability in the regions remains one of the most significant international challenges of our time. What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you find this report informative, please like this video and subscribe to our channel so you never miss our updates in Nigeria and worldwide. I'm Chimezrim Okoro, and thanks for making us part of your day.